Imagine standing before a stone so massive, so impossibly heavy, that even our most powerful modern cranes struggle to lift it. This isn't a hypothetical. It's real, and it was moved by people we often call primitive. We're talking about stones weighing over 1,000 tons, the equivalent of 3 fully loaded Boeing 747s. How did ancient civilizations, without the wheel or advanced machinery, achieve such a monumental feat? Our journey begins in Baalbek, Lebanon, home to some of the largest worked stones on Earth. Here, in the ruins of the Roman Temple of Jupiter, lies the famous trilithon. 3 colossal limestone blocks, each weighing around 800 tons, form part of the temple's platform. But even more astonishing is the stone of the south, or Hajar al-Hibla, still in its quarry nearby. This single stone is estimated at 1,000 to 1,200 tons. It's the largest known ancient worked stone in the world, still partially attached to the bedrock, waiting to be moved. For centuries, archaeologists, engineers, and curious minds have grappled with the same question: how? How did they quarry it, shape it, and then transport it, likely uphill, to the temple site? It's easy to assume aliens or some lost, futuristic technology were involved. That's a common belief, perpetuated by countless documentaries. But the truth, as always, is far more grounded and far more impressive. The myth we need to correct is that these cultures were primitive and lacked the intelligence for such feats. In reality, their understanding of physics, mechanics, and social organization was profoundly sophisticated. Early theories often focused on brute force, thousands of slaves pulling ropes. While human labor was certainly central, it wasn't just raw muscle. It was an elegant combination of leverage, friction, and ingenuity. Let's start at the quarry. To extract these massive blocks, they didn't have dynamite. Instead, they likely used a painstaking method of wedging. They'd carve channels around the stone, then drill rows of holes. Wooden wedges were inserted, soaked with water, and as the wood expanded, it slowly, surely, split the rock along natural fault lines. Once freed, the shaping began. Using harder stones like dolerite for hammers and chisels, they meticulously sculpted the blocks, often with incredible precision, right there in the quarry. The next challenge is moving it. Imagine the preparation. The ground had to be perfectly leveled, a path cleared, and rollers or sledges constructed. For the smaller, though still immense, stones, wooden rollers were likely used. But for something like the Hajar al-Hibla, a massive wooden sledge, pulled over a prepared track, was more probable. Friction was the enemy. To reduce it, they might have lubricated the tracks with water, mud, or even oil. This isn't guesswork, similar methods are documented in ancient Egyptian reliefs. And then, the human power. Thousands of organized laborers, likely working in shifts, pulling on thick ropes woven from plant fibers. This wasn't chaos, it was a highly coordinated effort. This required immense logistical planning and leadership. Someone had to feed them, house them, and direct them. This tells us about the sophisticated social structures of these primitive societies. A 2014 study by the University of Amsterdam, analyzing an ancient Egyptian fresco depicting 172 men pulling a colossal statue, suggested a clever technique. One man stood at the front of the sledge, pouring water onto the sand. This wasn't just to cool the sand, it significantly reduced friction, making it twice as easy to pull. While Baalbek isn't in a desert, the principle holds. Lubricating the path, whether with water, mud, or even stone chips, would have been crucial for moving those massive blocks. Once at the site, how did they lift them into place? Ramps, undoubtedly. Long, gently sloped earth ramps, built up around the construction, would allow the stones to be pulled upwards. For fine adjustments and precise placement, levers were indispensable. Using strong wooden beams and carefully placed fulcrums, even small groups of men could exert tremendous force. Consider Pumapunku in Bolivia, another site that defies explanation. Its stones, some weighing over 100 tons, are cut with such incredible precision they fit together like puzzle pieces, without mortar. These stones are mostly andesite and diorite, incredibly hard volcanic rocks. Modern tools struggle with them. Yet, the ancients achieved cuts so fine you can't slip a razor blade between them. This is where what we do not know truly shines. While we understand the principles of leverage and ramps, the exact sequence of steps, the precise tools for Pumapunku's cuts, remain debated. Dr. Jean-Pierre Protzen, an architectural historian at UC Berkeley, studied Inca stonework extensively. He theorized they used a method of pecking and grinding with harder stones. But even with pecking, the sheer scale and precision at Pumapunku suggest a level of patience and skill almost beyond comprehension. It wasn't just physical labor, it was an artistic and engineering masterclass. Or think of Easter Island's Moai. These colossal stone statues, some weighing up to 86 tons, were carved in quarries and then transported across the island. For years, it was believed they were rolled on logs. But experimental archaeology, including a 2012 study published in the Journal of Archaeological Science by Carl Lipo and Terry Hunt, suggests otherwise. They found that by rocking the statues from side to side, using ropes, the moai could walk upright, much like a refrigerator being moved. This explains their characteristic forward tilt. The common thread in all these sites, baalbek, Pumapunku, Easter Island, isn't magic. It's the incredible, often underestimated, power of human ingenuity, organization, and sheer will. What motivated such monumental efforts? Often, it was deeply spiritual. These structures weren't just buildings, they were links to the divine, expressions of power, or monuments to ancestors. Building these structures fostered a strong sense of community and shared purpose. Everyone, from the quarry worker to the chief engineer, played a vital role in a grand collective endeavor. Our modern minds, accustomed to machines doing the heavy lifting, often struggle to comprehend the scale of ancient human labor. We project our limitations onto them. But these sites are powerful reminders. They teach us that what seems impossible with limited resources can be achieved with limitless human creativity and collective determination. These ancient engineers didn't have textbooks or CAD software. Their knowledge was passed down through generations, honed by trial and error, and deeply integrated with their understanding of natural materials. Some of the specific techniques, particularly for the largest stones like the Hajar al-Hibla, may indeed be lost to us. The exact sequences, the precise number of men, the exact tools, these are still areas of active research. Yet, the overwhelming weight of archaeological evidence, combined with experimental archaeology, points not to extraterrestrials, but to human genius. The lever, the ramp, the roller, these are the fundamental simple machines. When understood and applied on an epic scale, with immense human organization, they become incredibly powerful. Back at Baalbek, the Hajar al-Hibla, often called the stone of the pregnant woman due to a local legend, still sits, a silent testament to an ambition never fully realized. Why was it abandoned? Perhaps a sudden political upheaval, a shortage of labor, or an engineering miscalculation. We don't know for certain. But its very existence offers clues. It shows us the scale of their plans, even if the final execution was sometimes interrupted. It's a snapshot of a moment in time, frozen in ambition. These sites aren't just about moving stones. They're about the human spirit, its boundless capacity for innovation, perseverance, and collaboration. They force us to reconsider what primitive really means. It wasn't a lack of intelligence, but a different set of tools and an entirely different worldview. Our modern arrogance often blinds us to the genius of the past. We assume our technology makes us superior, forgetting the fundamental principles mastered long ago. The legacy of these stone movers isn't just in the ruins they left behind. It's in the enduring mystery, the challenge they pose to our understanding, and the inspiration they offer. They stand as a testament to what humanity can achieve when united by a common, grand vision, even against seemingly insurmountable odds. The real weight of these stones isn't their physical mass. It's the weight of the questions they ask us, and the humbling answers they provide about our ancestors. Perhaps the greatest lesson is that true power isn't in the tools you possess, but in the collective will and intelligence to overcome any obstacle. If you're fascinated by the incredible mysteries of lost civilizations and the ingenuity of ancient cultures, hit that subscribe button.